And welcome to Obidati Family TV, the program now Hope Alive. Yes. Today we get plenty things we be say they lined up because today will be 30th day of October 2023. We dey expect FBI files, so we go reach out to the FBI to the issues regarding the FBI files, and then we are also going to bring the issues pertaining these very controversial bribery allegations where they come out from Queen's B, Lady Pink on X, and all those things, fact-checking the information where then they talk about the INEC chairman, Mah'd Yakubu, and the person where they call him son, where they talk say that Naaim Mah'd Yakubu, where they talk say that 94 million euro are being a pounds. Now all the big money where they talk say then transfer. We won't do fact checking inside. Make we know whether true whether this kind thing, whether if it happen, and yes, whether if it happen, whether the information where then they give out is there possible, and every other thing where we say is they follow am. And the third one where we say we also want talk today, we want chook our mouth for inside waiting Atiku Abubakar talk today when he hold press conference for inside Abuja for Wadata Plaza, where then they talk all those things. We won't bring out some of the salient issues where we say Atiku raised today. While we they wait for His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi to address the obedience and well-meaning Nigerians. So while we they wait for that, but make we no forget say today na 30th. We get today and tomorrow for us to get that information from the FBI so that we can also check what remain for the files of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will be the president of Nigeria. So all those ones, now be the things where we they carry come this hour. And not be only me go talk these things, I get Angel for studio, I get Esther, I get Princess from our own UC Maxwell, will go join us for Zoom. With all those ones, on a welcome and good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever on the join us. Welcome to Obedient Family TV.
Good day, my well-meaning Nigerians, my lovely and intelligent obedient worldwide. Welcome, tell your neighbor, say hope day, but not in our leaders, but in God. Yes, my people, happy new week. Supreme Court is now the head of corruption in the judiciary. Welcome. Let's discuss.
Yes, so good day, obedient and well-meaning Nigerians, wherever you are. My people, the battle for a new Nigeria, it is not going to be an easy one. It is going to be the survivor of the fittest, and it's going to be a marathon. This and lots more we'll have to discuss. Welcome and join us.
Greetings to all well-meaning Nigerians and fellow obedient worldwide. Welcome back to Hope Alive. We know who we voted for to be in Aso Rock as our president, and PO won the election. But the reason why he's not in Aso Rock right now is what we should actually work on. Dangerous and corrupt men have actually taken over our home, and they need to be kicked out. And this clean sweep will definitely start from the judiciary. So join us as we discuss.
Yes, so make una join us as everybody talk about the Supreme Court. Yes, Supreme Court, they corrupt, the judiciary, they corrupt. We got those one go join for the matter where we go talk, but we go start to look at waiting happen, waiting they happen today as one. We go start with Atiku Abubakar's press conference because he get some certain things where the man talk today where be say he makes sense small because he talks say no longer about whether and about him becoming the president of Nigeria, but now how Nigeria moving forward should be. One of the things will be the key thoughts where we say we take out from that is press conference. But we'll go soon bring out the main conference. We're going to see everything as or analyze waiting in talk there. But even as that one they go on, we'll go also jump to waiting with the expect today will be the FBI file. We get the documents where we say if they come out from plain sight will be Aaron Greenspan they show say Tinubu lawyer don already they chook him mouth enter for the inside, then still they try to dey push make the thing no comot, but documents don comot wey dey show all those in, because we would dey like to dey show the documents wey be say where the facts wey we dey show dey comot from. Before we go enter to dey show all the things, all the legal documents wey dey happen to prevent that thing to comot from today. But God go pass them. We will get that in either today or tomorrow. So we go show now all the documents. But make we first start with waiting they happen for Abuja as Atiku enter there. So Princess go carry us enter Abuja as the thing don already set. As in don't talk finish, she don't listen to waiting Atiku talk, and she get one or two things where she want let us know. Let's take a listen from her.
Okay. I would like to quote Atiku from his press conference today in Abuja. And he said, "Someone asked me, what would I do if I lost my election petition appeal at the Supreme Court? In response, I said that as long as Nigeria wins, the struggle would have been worthwhile. By that, I meant that the bigger loss will not be mine, but Nigerians, if the Supreme Court legitimizes illegality, including forgery, identity theft, and perjury, as it has done. If the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, implies that crime is good and should be rewarded, then Nigeria is lost. I am sure that history will vindicate me." Atiku said when people lose confidence in the electoral process, democracy is on life support. The PDP's candidate, that's Atiku, also said he will not leave the political arena despite the Supreme Court verdict. He said, "As for me and my party, this phase of work is done. However, I am not going to go away. If you think I'm going to go away, forget about it. For as long as I breathe, I will continue to struggle with other Nigerians to deepen our democracy. I will continue to work for the return of political and economical restructuring that the country needs." That was actually the part that I liked from what he said today at the press conference in Abuja.
Okay, Princess, you quoted him verbatim as the thing suppose day, and we see say that first thing where you talk, now that thing Naaim sweet me as he take talk. Yeah. Then the second one when talk say no go tire. You understand me?
Yes.
But as he don't already or as they don't conclude the issue, there is another 4 years. How old is Atiku Abubakar going to be in the next 4 years, assuming he has intentions to contest the presidency? That's number one. Then number two, is he giving a hope of a change to a possible Nigeria? You understand me? Because as we said earlier, it's not for him to call us the obedient and well-meaning Nigeria to join him. He may have to join the obedience and the well-meaning Nigerians if he's interested in the way forward for us. You understand?
Yes.
So it's not just, if he's going to be in the political space, of course, Atiku Abubakar is going to be relevant going forward. There's no way. He's a former vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So there is no way he's not going to be relevant in politics. However, let's see what our own His Excellency PO is going to get to us. So with that very one, Angel, as you say, your mother do we make we begin the banner they go.
Yes, so make us hear what our UC has to say. Whether Atiku go contest again, maybe he will not, maybe he will, because you see this thing called power. Power intoxicates, because once you are in power, to go away from that power is very hard. Once they grab that power, they hardly leave the power, except na death na carry them go. That is what African leaders, especially our Nigerian corrupt leaders, do.
Yes, talking about the corruption, we know that the judiciary is corrupt. We also know that the CJN, that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, is also a tribalistic person, and he has been accused of corruption and bribery by his own colleagues. Yes. So with all of those ones, Atiku, it is not the first time he has gone through the presidency. So I believe that he knows the way forward. So, but we'll come back to Atiku's issue. Let's look at this very issue trending on Twitter. I hope our UC Maxwell is with us so that we'll get him up to date on what. Okay, good. So moving forward, let's look at what has been trending on X. They said Mah'd Yakubu, son, that his name is Naaim Mah'd Yakubu, that Gilbert Chogre, I'll be waiting, then they call him, say then give bribe of 94 million euros and all that. Is trending everywhere by Lady Pink at Real Lady Pink and then Queen Lady B and all that. But the important thing where we won't bring up now, fact check, Naaim we don't do. This very particular Naaim Mohammed, where they talk, whether that person na the real son of Mah'd Yakubu will be INEC chairman, we know if we confirm that one. That's one. Then the second thing where we want make we for look at, we say, if we look at the first Lady Pink, or as the X handle suggests, the real Lady Pink is, we have not seen her or him to be a real person that we can relate with. But she had brought out these very accusations and what supposedly she called facts of banking transaction receipts of a very huge amount of money, and this is a very big accusation on INEC chairman. Now, we are not trying to shield INEC chairman, let's understand that fact, but we also want to look at the informations that are being given out to obedience, because we can see reactions of obedience on X and all other online platforms. We can see that everybody is just looking at, wow, why is all this? This is a very crucified INEC chairman, all this. For we at Obedient Family TV, we have done our own fact check that we don't want to categorically say that Real Lady Pink on X is giving a false information, but rather we want to advise people to tread with caution when such information has not been fact-checked very well, especially when the person cannot explain certain things. When we fact-checked the receipt, we find out that there are errors on that very receipt, spelling errors and some of those things, and the fact that such an amount of money may not have exchanged hand openly the way she is presenting it. Now, we'll also take our thought towards David Hundeyin, who also tweeted that anyone who believed that Gilbert Chogre, the expert money laundering person, who cleaned about $4 billion for Abacha, will do a direct 94 million euros transfer that raises every AML and CFT red flag in existence to the personal bank account of a public official's son is just not very intelligent. Now, as much as we don't want to take it on Lady Pink that she's not intelligent, we are only trying to say, hey, caution need not to be thrown on the wind, especially the obedience that are absorbing this. So please choose what you want to believe, because we look at what is important, what is pertinent. David Hundeyin also went further to say that my personal theory is that these enormous whistleblower accounts that spring into being out of nowhere and start tweeting bombastic nonsense in that weird autistic voice are actually APC stock puppet created to spread confusion and misdirection. Now, in as much as we always take Mr. David Hunde's tweet and him being with us as our own person who does a real investigation, we also want to toe the line of caution, not to tell people to block Lady Pink or Queen Bee. So we are not advising you to block any of these people. They have been helpful in this our obedient movement struggle, and they have been giving information up till now that are very, very in line with our thoughts and our values. That they have brought up something probably that their source provided for them or may not be able to defend it does not mean that we should block them. So we are not at this very point saying that we are acknowledging that what they have done is correct and right, but at the same time, we are saying that we should not go to the extent of blocking them except when such things that is much more grievous, that's harming to us has come. Because we don't see any harm in somebody, escalating INEC chairman. For us, he should be hanged for what he has done. Exactly, you understand?
Exactly.
But it's just like David Hunde said, the misdirection, you understand me, and not getting us focused and all that. So that is what we want to bring. So Maxwell, that is joining us on Zoom, I know he has his own personal thoughts on this and way forward for obedience that we have been discussing. And Maxwell, please, I want to make you chook your mouth for this matter, as I don't already talk our own side from the studio. Make you help or make some of our obedient members and well-meaning Nigerians know say this thing where they talk where they work out for X now. The way where our people they take them, if they go at another distance, and then make you join us talk this articles issue where we say Indo press conference today. So welcome for joining us, using Maxwell.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanu. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to everybody, well-meaning Nigerians all over the world. It's a pleasure to be here once again to speak to issues of national importance and which affect our democratic existence. Regarding the information that is coming out from these handles, I've always been of the opinion that no matter where information is coming from, there is a need for people to be able to track the authenticity of these informations. It is very, very important for people to know that even if Naaim they post information, because of say you don't already trust me, you still need to check, this information. Now, one thing I want to state categorically is that some of these documents that have been posted by these handles, or some of these information that has been posted by these handles, may not at the moment be verifiable. They may not be, linked to any verifiable source for now, but it may not affect the legitimacy. So for now, these informations remain unverifiable. They cannot be linked at the time for the time being. But let us see, we've seen the attitude of every person who participated in these elections and how, the results of elections were announced and the real information that is out there to the people, that is on the IREV, that, that was announced, what was presented before the courts and all of that. So we may not be able to point out now that the person of Professor Mah'd Yakubu collected any sum of money to this particular amount we are seeing on the screen, or to link it to these documents. We may not be able to prove that. These documents may not be verifiable now. But let's see how things unfold in the political space. So on that note, I'll just tell people to be careful with the information that they should be sure that, the information flying around on social media, on the Mr. Kanu, say no be only for social media we see this kind of information. You also know, say even our conventional media, they participate to they spread informations. So people need to they verify all these things to take know whether they verifiable or not. So away from that and to the conversation regarding Atiku Abubakar. Now we've not heard from Atiku Abubakar since after the judgment and all of that. He's been able to hold a press conference. I did not have the privilege of course, listening to him or reading the text of his conference. However, he has made very important statements that his entire travels within and outside of Nigeria was for the purpose of presenting the real issues to the general public, was for the purpose of showing Nigerians the real conversation, how things are and how how things have affected the entire elections and the candidacy of Bola Tinubu. Now, another thing which he said that is very, very striking is the fact that the repercussion, the victory from the case wouldn't have been his own, but that of the Nigerian people. And he said it also means that in that instance, that if there is a failure, it would mean that Nigeria as a nation failed. Now, when you look at the statements he has made, and then you juxtapose it with the judgment that has come out of our courts, speaking of the tribunal judgment from the Court of Appeal on the 6th of September, and subsequently the one from the Supreme Court on the 26th of October 2023, we can tell if truly it is in the benefit of the Nigerian people, or if truly it is in the it is a disadvantage to the Nigerian people. So it's good that Atiku Abubakar has been able to address the press, but going forward, we need to see a lot of actions. We need to see a lot of activities as it concerns, reactions to the case. We know that a lot of elections are coming around the corner at the state level and how they need to prepare regarding it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Maxwell. Before we let you go, you get something where I want to make. Say today na 30th and tomorrow at 31st. So Naaim be say between today, within 24 hours, we will get the FBI files. And we don't check, we get documents where they suggest Tinubu's lawyer, Victor Henderson, don't join the matter, don't already join the matter and all that. Now, what I want to ask you be say, as we expect this file come out, we will soon show the documents where they available, where we get. So, but as we show them now, I want make you tell me what you think. As people, they talk about, let's get this file, let's get this file. If we get this file, you get any change where if it do us, as in any good way it go do us, I be make we just know see the criminal activity where they involve or waiting Tinubu don't do before. I be get any other legal implication where the thing go help us do. The questions they come, they go, and say, I no get that big legal background, but I get common sense. So I go to answer them as my sense take reach. So what do you think? If we see all these documents where it come out, you get anything where we will fit do with those documents outside of say make we know say see waiting and waiting Tinubu don't do before.
Mr. Kanu, thank you for that your question. You see, no be today we know say criminal records dey against Bola Tinubu. So no be today. And no be the first criminal record we done dey for the public space about Bola Tinubu. You remember say the case where Peter Obi been carry go court as it relates to one of the grounds for disqualification. Say made them disqualify Bola Tinubu based on say him been done forfeit the sum of $160,000. We be say na proceeds, meaning say na profit we can get from drugs trafficking, narcotic, hard drugs, heroin trafficking, and money laundering. So this one, Peter Obi carry and go court, even though the court no agree look the document. They refuse to look at the document. So we know of a fact, say Tinubu gets criminal records. Tinubu gets so many criminal files for the hands of all these intelligence agencies for United States of America, the FBI, the CIA, and a lot of these organizations. But the real question are the legal implication. Now, as it stands, you no get anything where these documents fit do to comot Tinubu from office. Peter Obi bin don try, in carry this one where I tell you about $460,000 for feature for Chicago, and the court refused to look am, and Naaim be the problem. They refuse to place it on the laws to know the legalities and illegalities as to the disqualification of Bola Tinubu, even though from my perspective, I feel say those documents been there enough to disqualify Bola Tinubu. So these new documents that are coming out will only show us a better view. Probably, I feel talk say we don't see the front view of Bola Tinubu criminal record. So now we are about to see the left view, the right view, and probably the back view, center view, and all round of whom Bola Tinubu is. We already know for a fact that he has criminal files and that he went through several court cases in Chicago State University for crimes. So that is for a fact. But this one will just reveal, other things we will not know before. But it not going to be reason where be say if he come out at this point where Supreme Court don't give verdict for the election, where be say Naaim be the final verdict. The only thing where be say they fit take Bola Tinubu from office. Now number one, say in 4 years tenure expire for 2027 and say they conduct new election. Number two, be say if the National Assembly decides say they want impeach him, and that one another process of his own. And one of the grounds where they fit take impeach President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria be say he don't participate for gross misconduct or say he don't violate the provisions of the Constitution. So another question where we go still ask ourselves be say this current 10th National Assembly with Godswill Akpabio or but where be say Tinubu follow pull hand for the reasons why he becomes Senate President, and the ones ready for the floor of the House of Reps, they get the impetus, they get the powers, they get the they get the mind, say they want impeach Bola Tinubu. Now be another question. So for these documents where FBI will release, it is very instrumental, and it is good for people to know whom their president is, the leader of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is. However, it may not be a ground or a basis for his removal from office. Election is done. Election litigation is also done with. So that one be the cocoa.
Okay. Moving forward, before I let you go, you see Maxwell, there is this video that is trending, and it has to do with Rotimi Amaechi. Rotimi Amaechi belated someone. Why the obedience fight? When you listen to that whole lecture, you quickly understand that why many of us are angry. You get it immediately. That was probably the first attempt by an elite, or let me say one of it, at summarizing the Nigerian situation. That we feel it is okay, put it in this way, say it is not okay, but that is our present situation. But all I understand he said in that video is why we fight, what we fight for. Amaechi may not be the right messenger of that information he was giving in that very video, but he was communicating something that is very, very important. I disagree with him that Nigerians know certificate forgers and voted for them. I disagree. Nigerians did not vote for them. Rather, they rigged themselves in and assumed that Nigerians voted for them. So I may disagree with something, but it's an eye-opener. Let's take a listen on that very Rotimi Amaechi's belated sermon and then come back to the studio so that you can help us, give us your own analysis of that his sermon.
The beginning is to say to you that if some Nigerians were telling you that you shouldn't have given me an opportunity to speak, tell them that so many television houses and individuals had approached me to speak on different issues since I left office, and I declined. Two reasons why did I decline? Two reasons. My publicist said, don't speak. And I chose to obey my publicist. And he's very angry that I'm speaking today. He knows. Second reason, what is new to say? Nigerians don't react to anything. Has any politician told you that he's not a thief? Tell me one politician that has told you that he's not a thief. Tell me one. I don't know why you're gathering forgery, no forgery. What politician told you I didn't forge? Which politician told you he went to university? Which politician told you he served in NYSC? Which politician told you he has a certificate? Nigerians know and still vote for them. So what's your problem? No, tell me what's your problem? So I said, why should I speak when already there's nothing new? Okay, you observe Buhari's period. I will leave Port Harcourt 1 a.m. I arrive Abuja, leave Abuja 3 a.m. Somebody said they made Buhari. Did I say anything? I didn't say anything. It's not important. Nigerians choose who to believe and who not to believe. Nigerians choose who to vote and who not to vote. Even if you come to a Nigerian man's house and kill the mother, the father will continue his life. Nothing bothers you. Nothing. So why do I waste my time? Yes, that's the original. So give it to me. You see it? So that you won't say tomorrow he brought photocopies. But when we get there, that is when we're talking about Buhari's government.
So I go cut am short here because some of us don't see this very video. But the important message wey be say I dey bring make you help us give us your own perception or perspective be say, as in talk say, Nigerians choose to believe who they want to believe, that Nigerians vote who they want to vote. I disagree with him that Nigerians vote who they want to vote, like Bola Tinubu. Nigerians did not vote for him. And we need to start looking at moving forward how to protect the votes, or I mean, the casting of the votes that we do as obedience moving forward. What's your take on this Amaechi's belated sermon?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kanu. I will come to this conversation from two different angles. The first is the messenger. Then the second, which I'll come to the conversation, is the message that is being passed. Now, the person, the messenger. Now, Rotimi Amaechi has been, has held several political positions. One of the highest which he held is the governor of Rivers State, which is one of the highest oil producing state. I think the third highest oil producing state in Nigeria. So now let us look at him and his roles. Rotimi Amaechi was part of this same APC who shot NSAS protesters on the 20th day of October 2020 when they came out to protest against the ills of government. Rotimi Amaechi was still part of this same APC who attacked people who came out to protest or hold rallies on the streets due to the death of Mah'd in Lagos State. Rotimi Amaechi till today is still part of the same APC that stole the mandate and the votes of the people. So what is the moral, rectitude that he is coming to the public to speak? Why did he have to come after the elections, after the court processes, to be saying all of these things? Why didn't he come out to the public at the time when people needed his voice, the people who are behind him from Rivers State, the people who are behind him on the national level, when they needed his voice so that they can make a legitimate choice as to who will be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Where was he? Immediately he lost the primaries. He ran away. He went into oblivion, only for him to come out now. The same thing happened the last time he made this statement. I would say this is clearly the attitude of politicians anytime they are fallen out of favor with their cohorts. We saw it with Wike, when Wike went about telling the general public on how they need to hold the government accountable and all of that, forgetting that this same person, pilfered the coffers of Rivers State when he was governor there. We saw the same thing too with Adams Oshomole, whom after doing all the things, all the crimes he committed, and then being forgiven by the APC, he came out to tell the people, hey, see, when these people believe or can now see that they are fallen out of favor by the majority of Nigerians or by the political party that they represent, they come out to come and play this kind of sanctimonious card, telling us how we didn't do what we needed to do. Nigerians did what they needed to do, but because of this minority, this political minority, still have the powers of the state, they were able to take over INEC, they were able to take over the courts, and issued judgments and issued a declaration that goes against the will of the people. Of course, we know that a very few people voted for Tinubu. I agree that people who unfortunately do not know their left from their right voted for Bola Tinubu, but the majority of Nigerians did not vote for Bola Tinubu. They voted for, in fact, of all the accredited voters, majority voted for Peter Gregory Onwubuasi Obi. That is the person who they voted for. So all this moral righteousness, we don't need it. Now, that is one hand. On the second hand, which is the message he's passing, I agree with the message because, of course, where is the lie? There's absolutely no lie. The only part I don't agree is the fact that people voted for Bola Tinubu, and I've already established that nobody, no reasonable person voted for Bola Tinubu in the last elections. But in the generality of the message, I think that Nigerians need to wake up to the reality that as it stands, if politicians are ready to steal it, snatch it, grab it, and run with their mandate, then Nigerians should be ready to also wake up to their reality and also run after these people that have stolen their mandates, grab their mandate back, and, you know, restore the mandate. We see what is happening in several other countries. We talk about Sierra Leone. We look at other countries for where, as in where the civilian population have decided to hit the streets and then hold the politicians accountable. I think it is high time that Nigerians see this as a viable option to, you know, hold politicians accountable, since the courts that are considered the last hope of the common man have become the last hope of those who only have deep pockets and heavy pockets. It's actually unfortunate. So his message may be pure in some extent, and I call on Nigerians to actually giddle up, for the road is very far. They should not give up at just this attempt. There's a lot that we need to do to win back the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much, Mr. Kanu.
Yeah, Maxwell, one more thing. You know, burning and someone somewhere is discussing different sizes of women bra and other things in the market. Nigerians are hardly moved by bad news nowadays. People compartmentalize. Many have created a mental picture of their own Nigeria. Their coping mechanism become online cruise, you know? So people have different things, the way they think, but the obedience are the ones that never gave up in spite of all that has happened. We saw the light and marched ahead of the band, cheerleading a new Nigeria that is possible, and we are the only hope of a Nigeria that has already become hopeless. So let's take a dive into what Justice Dati Joe Mohammed said. What are the implications of the accusations that are coming out from him now that the judiciary at the highest extent of Supreme Court, he alleged abuse of power by CJN. He has said different things concerning the salaries they earn, that even the clerk of the Supreme Court earns more than them. Judging from the fact that if they are not well, or if they don't have enough money to, you know, deal with their children, or let's say the things that they need to deal with, don't you think that it will continue to affect their compromise, like the corruption we are talking about, because they are supposed to be neutral people who are like demigods or semigods, however one chooses to call them. So moving forward with all these allegations that this man has brought forward, I also want you to touch on the fact that most of them is when they want to retire, they bring the truth out. Please touch on these things that Obedience wants to know going forward.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Kanu, I will start from the last statement you made about the fact that these justices come out to talk about these issues when they are retiring. We can spare them that particular point. The reason is very clear. Now, the judiciary is not like the executive arm of government. The judiciary is considered to be a very sacred entity, and its sacrosanctity should continuously be upheld by the justices who are, who are justice in the temple of justice, or who are ministers in the temple of justice. Now, I will state categorically that they do not have such liberty to come out and call out the judiciary to the general public while they are still servants in the judiciary. The best that they can do is to probably write petitions, write recommendations to the leadership of, the judiciary and all of that. But since they are about leaving, they have that leverage to, say these things how they truly are. Mr. Kanu, the main issues. Now, since Musa Datijo Mohammed said several things, made several allegations, several things that are striking. They do not only hit to, the justice system, they hit particularly to the Chief Justice of the Federal Republic of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They hit to all the justices of the Supreme Court. They hit to all the justices of the Court of Appeal, lower court justices. This statement also hits the senior advocates of Nigeria, who are considered leaders at the bar. Now, that said, I will tell you some of the allegations that he made. This man said, Justice Datijo, as he then was, of course, he is now a retired justice, talked about how the children of justices and relatives are being appointed into the judiciary at the expense of more qualified persons. This is a very huge allegation against the person of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, against the person of the President of the Court of Appeal, and several other leaders in the judiciary, that they now bring in people who are merely their children or their family members, relatives, at the expense of people who are qualified to hold office. You know, Mr. Kanu, that the CJN has his family member who has also been called into the bench to be a justice. Justice Mary Odili has. A lot of these people have their children. The question now becomes, what were the parameters for which these persons were appointed to be justices or judges in the Republic of Nigeria? He also said about how the processes of these appointments were made to favor even their mistresses, girlfriends and boyfriends of these persons, who are seen as people who should have integrity to be able to deliver equity, justice, and fairness. He also mentioned categorically the case of Ahmed Lawan and Hope Uzodinma. You know, so many of us have condemned these cases and have talked about it. And it beats my heart, it pricks my heart, Mr. Kanu, that till today, when people come out to call the judicial system of Nigeria out for all the things that they have done, the injustice that they have fostered in Nigeria, people come after us. But now we now see a justice of the Supreme Court who is coming out to make this same statement. He also said about how justice are now that they were not even comfortable with in the past. What is he saying? We see how justices now sit with politicians, how justices attend birthday parties, how justices attend wedding ceremonies, and some of these events that in the past we don't see them attend. How they play so very friendly, and this relationship is unhealthy to our justice system. And Justice Musa Datijo made these statements categorically during his valedictory session. Another one, of course, he reminded us of how the person of Muhammadu Buhari, when he was president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, went into the court, arrested justices, of whom this same Justice Inyago Koro was one of them. How he arrested them, put them before panels. This is a desecration of our justice system. And it is only for one reason, because justices have allowed themselves to play partisan politics, that justices have allowed themselves to be bribed, justices have allowed themselves to be played by members of the executive and members of the judiciary. You must not also forget, Mr. Kanu, that the person of, what's his name, Bukachua, Senator Bukachua, spoke in the open valedictory session, where he talked about how his wife, a justice of the Court of Appeal, had manipulated judgments in order to give people who are not worthy of judgments at the Court of Appeal while she was there. Another thing that I like to highlight here is he also reminded them when 14 justices of the Supreme Court wrote to the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, being the person of Tanko Mohammed, I said this some time ago on this platform that this same Chief Justice Kayode Ariwola was one of the, in fact, he was the topmost people who signed that document. Justice Datijo was the second who signed that document, for which they wrote, creating several or making several allegations against Tanko on how he had mismanaged the judiciary, how he has mismanaged funds that were meant for the upkeep of justices. This is an aberration of the justice system in Nigeria. How do you expect them to deliver justice when we have such, such news coming out from the justice system? I must also state that in my perception, it's unfortunate that people come and go. They make these allegations during the valedictory session, but we do not see any change. I recorded something that he said during that, and he was making reference to a particular quote, for which I may not be able to link to the person. Now, a society dies when at first it overlooks evil. It starts gradually to die when it begins to overlook evil. The second step is when it permits evil. So from overlooking evil, it now permits it. Just like we are already permitting evil, we are already permitting injustice to be a part of our justice system in Nigeria. We are already permitting wrong appointments to be a part of our executive system in Nigeria, and forgery in our system. The next stage is to now legalize evil, which is what we saw the Supreme Court do on several cases that have come before them. By their judgments, they have legalized evil in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Nigeria is already dying. The next stage is that they begin to celebrate evil. We see several politicians today who are celebrating forgery by a person who sits at the highest seat in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is unfortunate. This is not the Nigeria that I want to pass on to my children. This is not the Nigeria that I want to enjoy. This is not the Nigeria that I want to live in. This is not the Nigeria that I want to die in. I like to say again that the next level is where the nation begins to persecute people who speak against evil, then that nation is truly headed for doom and destruction. We see that in Nigeria, people who speak against the evil in government are being persecuted, they are arrested, they are locked up without trial. Injustice now holds sway in Nigeria. Rule of law is no longer found. The very fundamentals of our democratic existence are being pushed into the gutter. This is unfortunate, Mr. Kanu. And I do hope that with the statements of Justice Musa Datijo Mohammed, that the judiciary can sit up and wake up, that every other person that makes a member of this judiciary, not only the judiciary, of course, that makes a member of the executive and the legislative arm, every arm of government must be held responsible, must be seen to put Nigeria where it's supposed to be, where injustice, corruption, inequity are thrown to the dustbin. Mr. Kanu, I do hope that his statements will be a lesson and that people wake up to the reality instead of continuing to support government on the basis of, religious sentiments, ethnic sentiments, and tribal sentiments. Thank you very much.
Most of this, Nigeria is dying without us. That's what I think. Nigeria is dying without us. And Nigeria is gone for good if we are not there. Obedience, we need to know we need to serve Nigeria. Nigeria are not ready to take back their country. Obedience, we have to step up. We will rather, mobilize ourselves and see how we can be able to motivate other well-meaning Nigerians so that we can be able to, match with these elites or whatever name they call themselves, to match with them, because we know that it's rigging that they use in coming to power. So Maxwell, thank you very much. It will be a conversation for another day, as we know that Nigeria is dying without the obedience, and we need to step up to take Nigeria back. So thank you. I'll be relieving you now. Let me get back to the people in the studio here. Make we talk other things when Nadeko don't they bring come with us. So thank you very much for having you, Mr. Maxwell. So back in the studio here now, I know say since Princess don't tell us what in Atiku Abubakar talk for Abuja today, you understand, and the fact that we are waiting on our own principal will be PO to come tell us how you want make we begin the waka they go, you understand, because the obedient movements need to, their taproot done already there, so we are a force to be reckoned with. So with that very one, I hear say Nadeko USA, Then they talk, say, they know they congratulate Tinubu and all that not. And they even write something to suggest that. But with all those ones now, whether they congratulate Tinubu or not, what do you think? How that one take concern obedience and the hungry way there for Nigeria?
Well, that one is not even supposed to be an issue, whether they congratulate him or not. First of all, how can you even congratulate somebody that stole, somebody that is working with a stolen mandate, somebody that forged and rigged his way into office? Once there is no congratulation, you can only congratulate. PO said, for you to be called an excellency, the way in which the process is the very most important thing. So the process at which he got there is not pure, it's not genuine at all. Everybody knows it. So the point of whether they are congratulating him or not, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't move anything. It doesn't even add anything. So there is no need congratulating him. How can you even congratulate somebody that forged, somebody that has forgery, perjury, identity theft and all that? So there is no point of congratulating him at all. It's not necessary.
Yeah, so going forward, there is no need of putting disqualified Tinubu, as people are saying. That one are long gone. You can't disqualify him again. So, Angel, coming back to you now, it be like, say, your mother, they do all this while. But the thing when I want to make you for check, moving forward for us now, as obedience, now, I think, say, now for us to check the routes where we don't tap, and then the things where we don't learn, especially we don't learn how INEC they take manipulate. They go according to the not the constitution myself, that their guidelines. Yeah. They know they go through that very one, and we can't discover say why they tell you say make you go for court, because they don't already know say court has a pre-understanding say wetin dem carry come na correct. And even if you go court, then go tell you say make you go INEC, make them give you the necessary things where you need, you understand. And we can see say the Supreme Court also, they told their line of thought. So we don't learn very serious things we go guide us how we go fit rescue Nigeria, and we get time. Because in another 3 years now, they will come begin to talk another agbado and another corn and other things. What thing you get to add for inside?
The issue be say they don't teach us lesson, because any vote wey go happen, whether governor's election now, wey go happen for I think 3 states or 4, obedience need to wisen up. They need to wisen up. Why? Because this vote, the beavers, if they say they are having glitches, me una no gree, because now that name where they call them na deceit. They said once beaten, twice shy. Yes, we need to wake up. If we need this new Nigeria, we need to wake up. We the youth need to take it by force. Yes, because if you check the National Assembly self, the new people where they are not obedient. Every other APC and P na bench warmers na in they be. Old cargos where they before. Over how many years? Now they still there. But the new ones, the young ones, now from obedience, now from Labour Party. So any election now, we need to wake up. No glitches. They need to come there with the password. You vote, it goes down to the server.
Now, I think what you they talk be say, as we don't learn from them this time, say first of all, Supreme Court, they talk say, where your agents there and where your agent copy there, you understand me? So before we get to that very level, we get off-cycle elections for Nigeria where they come on now. We get the one of Kogi, we get Edo, we get Bayelsa, we get Imo. Then even Anambra own myself go come maybe in 2 years' time, as the case might be. So we get the elections where we even fit use experiment whether waiting with the talk go work, because the place where these people really they rig the election no be for where we they cast the votes, then they rig. You understand? One is that with the Supreme Court pronouncements, it means that IREV no mean anything. It no mean anything at all. even that very collation, everything where they talk, if we read that, they mean say all those things where they tell us since where INEC they talk, real time, this and that, say it no mean anything. You know what it means something? The actual number of votes casted where they write for that very place. So it's for us to mobilize the people, obedience that will be in different polling units to give that result and post it and hold it at real time. And then to have somebody on the collation place where they are going to do their mago, you understand me? So if we have that very structure in place, I believe that in the next 3 years before they get back to asking us for another 4 years, we can take back our mandate at that very time. But we need to start in time. And we must experiment with these very states where we say, where they come on as off cycle. At least we can have an agreement with these governors whom we have selected there, sign an accord with them that they are going to do A, that they are going to do B, that they are going to do C. You understand me? Yeah. In line with the thoughts of a possible Nigeria, I believe that obedience and well-meaning Nigerians can achieve these things. So as our time don't they give us signal, make we waka they go, make you for share our people, our last things. And I don't know whether production team, whether I show them those legal documents will come out from plain sight about the ABL files expected today, how Tinubu's lawyer don't join the matter, all those things will be say, we tell them say, where we don't get. I don't know, maybe I don't show them. So Angel, make I hand you over as our time don't give us signal, make we for waka they go.
Thank you so much, my well-meaning Nigerians, my lovely and intelligent, obedient worldwide. Thank you so much, UC Maxwell, for being with us. Your analysis today na Ogbenge. Thank you so much. God bless you. My people, injustice now swim in Nigeria. Yes, and we will not allow them swim, except they go buy for inside that river. Yes, it's either they come out or they will buy inside there. Because we need to get up and take back our country. They have done enough. Enough is enough for them. Yes, it's no longer business as usual. Nigerians are always awake. Thank God for this issue, sir, because it make every Nigerian know constitution, know the INEC guidelines, know wetin dey happen, sir, for inside politics wey Nigeria gets. Yes, it wakens us very well. Thank you, PO, because people wey no sabi politics, they don't sabi am this time. Thank you so much, my people. Like, subscribe, share, subscribe. Tell other obedient, say, see wetin dey happen. Do your own evangelism. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. We love you. But God loves you more. Bye for now.